Hello and welcome back to Self-Care Sunday. I am Abby, and this is where we use tarot to move deeper into invitations for self-care for the week ahead. So our card this week is 8 of Wands reversed, and that just means I pulled the card upside down. So the meaning of the card has a little bit different of a flavor. So 8 of Wands traditionally, when upright, has to do with movement and self-direction and moving with aligned opportunities. And when it's upside down or reversed, it just means that we might be a little bit impatient, or we might want things to be moving in a faster pace. And it's a little bit of like a mismatch with reality. And so our first opportunity is to just, have compassion for that. Like, we're human. We all want things to be done the way that we want them to be done, and yet often life happens. And so how we meet that can play a big role in our enjoyment of life and our satisfaction. It's also an opportunity for patience. So when things don't go our way, or when things kind of go off course or in a different timeline, of course it's natural to be impatient. So again, use the compassion, and then as much as you can, just remind yourself, like, hey, how can I be patient with myself? How can I trust that things are moving at exactly the right pace? And I mean, so often, I know from my own experience, like my ego or my mind was like, I want this to work out this way, like this job or this project or this relationship or this event. And I really had it in my mind. I was really attached to like a certain way or a certain pace of something. And so many times it didn't happen that way. And I got frustrated or impatient or upset. And then down the line, a few weeks later or a couple years later, more information came to light. And I was like, oh, that's why that didn't work. And like, I understand it now. And I'm glad that it didn't work in that way. So there's also something to be said for kind of trusting in the pace and rhythm that's here, and also knowing that like you can't miss anything that's meant for you, that's truly meant for you. So there's no need, of course it's natural to have fears and worries about that, but there's no need to fret about it. And how can you really trust in the pace and rhythm that is here for you? Because the more that we can live in presence and really show up fully just to the reality of here and now, the less likely we are to kind of argue with reality and cause more suffering. So this is a week where we may have some human preferences around pace or rhythm with something in our lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just an invitation to really practice compassion and patience with ourselves, and also to sort of like consider that if something's not happening in this moment, maybe it's not meant to happen, or maybe it's meant to happen a different way. And that can be a good thing too. So being open to kind of like the grander scheme, the grander kind of the bigger picture, and also trusting in your own rhythms and trusting in where you're at and how things are moving in your life, and just kind of being open to the medicine of that. Like, maybe this thing is moving slower than I'd like because I really need some time to, check in with myself, or I've been so busy that I've forgotten about my body and I haven't checked in with my body just to see how my heart is doing. Sometimes things like that can give us opportunities to give ourselves some sweet medicine that we've been missing. So just some things to consider for this week. And if you'd like to play around with this concept, this card, Eight of Wands reversed, I have a meditation guided and the link is below. So please check that out if you want. Otherwise, I will see you next week.